Have you ever wondered why some people prefer to spend time alone? Not because they feel lonely or sad, but because they find in solitude a strange power, a clarity, and a balance that most of us are still searching for. They don't just enjoy the silence. They use those moments to develop themselves, maintain their autonomy, and build deep, meaningful relationships, something very few truly understand. These surprising and remarkable qualities will change the way you see people who enjoy their own company, and perhaps make you rethink how you spend your own time. Welcome to Kunzy Podcast English, where we explore inspiring stories and profound life lessons together. Part 1. Strict protection of personal space. Have you ever realized that for those who truly cherish their alone time, protecting their personal space is far more than a passing preference or habit? It is a deep emotional necessity, an invisible armor that shields their soul from the unseen pressures of the world around them. That space becomes their sanctuary, a sacred ground where only they have the right to enter. They set very clear and firm boundaries about what they choose to share and what remains solely their own, because they understand that without these limits, they can easily be dragged into unnecessary stress and demands, leading to imbalance and inner hurt. This act of guarding their personal space is not just self-care. It's a sign of inner strength that helps them maintain steady autonomy and minimize conflicts and unnecessary tensions in their relationships. This is the silent secret that those who love solitude use to stay grounded, living fully with themselves and the world around them. Part 2. Deep appreciation and management of time. Time, one of the most precious assets any human being possesses. But for those who cherish solitude and value moments of quiet with themselves, time is far more than just fleeting seconds passing by. It is so precious that they carefully guard every minute and second they dedicate. They refuse to waste time on meaningless things, superficial social interactions, or half-hearted relationships that bring no real value to their soul or personal growth. Their time is a treasure, and they know exactly how and with whom they want to spend it. You might notice that these individuals are not the kind to rush or follow the crowd blindly. On the contrary, they have a profound and mature perspective on life. They choose carefully the places they go and the people they share their time with. Not by quantity, but by quality. Every moment spent with others or engaged in an activity must carry significance, whether it's learning, inner peace, or personal development for the future. They understand that time cannot be bought back or extended, so respecting both their own time and others is paramount. When they make appointments, they keep their promises and never make others wait unnecessarily. To them, disrespecting time is not just rude, it is a sign of immaturity and a lack of awareness about life's true value. Their time management skills go beyond simply saying no to things that do not matter. It lies in their ability to prioritize what truly counts. Looking at their schedule, you'll find a well-curated series of purposeful activities, time for study, creativity, rest, and quality moments with truly important people. There's no room for distractions or wasting time on trivial matters. This is a conscious way of living, where every moment is fully utilized and adds meaningful value. Their profound respect and management of time also reflect a deep awareness of life's brevity. They understand that every day is a gift, and we can choose to use that gift wisely or squander it. That is why they refuse to let their lives be wasted on meaningless relationships or activities. Instead, They focus on what gives their life meaning and helps them grow. What's more, those who cherish time live with a high level of mindfulness and responsibility for themselves. They do not wait for luck or opportunities to come by. They proactively create value and seize time to build a meaningful life. They realize that maintaining balance between work, rest, and relationships is a continuous journey requiring persistence and patience. These individuals inspire others by modeling a lifestyle anyone can learn from. Valuing time, prioritizing what matters, and saying no to what drains energy or conflicts with their core values. Because of this, they create a life that is not only efficient, but also full of meaning and deep satisfaction. In short, for those who love solitude, time is not something to be recklessly spent, but a precious resource invested in themselves, valuable relationships, and truly memorable experiences. Their appreciation and management of time stand as clear evidence of maturity, profound awareness, and a meaningful way of living that everyone should aspire to. If you recognize yourself or someone you know in this image, be proud. You hold one of the most important keys to unlocking a fulfilling and abundant life. Part 3. Embracing new experiences. Calmly, without rush. Those who cherish solitude are not afraid of change or closing themselves off to new things. On the contrary, they open their hearts to new experiences with a calm and steady attitude, not rushing or succumbing to the pressures of today's fast-paced society. They understand that every change and new experience has its right moment to be embraced. There is no need to race at the rapid and sometimes chaotic speed of the world around them. Their slow approach to new experiences is not procrastination or fear, but a way to maintain balance, ensuring that emotions or outside influences don't overwhelm their minds. They enjoy exploring and learning, but not to show off or build an external image. Instead, they seek genuine and sustainable personal growth. They prioritize alignment with their inner values, valuing true meaning over superficial glamour. When embracing new experiences, they often take time to reflect and analyze whether these experiences fit their true selves, whether they help them grow, and if they bring peace and harmony to their lives. This mindfulness and patience help them avoid the traps of rushing or blindly following trends without thought. They know how to enjoy the journey of learning and growth, not merely focusing on results or external recognition. That is why their experiences tend to be deeper and more enduring, even if they are not as loud or flashy as others. They build a rich inner world and self-understanding, which creates self-control and inner strength to overcome all external upheavals. Part 4. Unshakable self-confidence. There is a kind of confidence that doesn't come from applause or the approval of others. It's a quiet, profound confidence, forged in silence. And it's exactly the kind of confidence found in those who love solitude. They don't need validation from the outside world to feel good about themselves. In their moments of quiet, they've looked inward, faced their own weaknesses, understood their limits, and built a solid foundation of self-trust. They don't seek consensus before making decisions. They know what they need, what they want, and what truly matters in their lives. As a result, mental and emotional independence becomes a defining trait. They are not easily shaken by judgment, nor do they rush to change themselves just to please others. Their steadiness isn't arrogance. It's the product of deep introspection, thoughtful reflection, and genuine self-acceptance. When they enter a room, they don't need to speak loudly. The calm in their gaze, the poise in their movements, and the steadiness in their voice project a quiet power, an energy that doesn't need to be flashy to be felt. It is inner strength, a kind of slow-burning fire that doesn't need to roar, but is strong enough to keep them warm through life's harshest storms. Through solitude, they've learned to trust their intuition, their logic, and their emotions. They are the ones who stay grounded when the world is noisy, the ones who decide when others hesitate, the ones who stay true to themselves even when the world tries to bend them. This kind of confidence is not easy to attain, but once it is, it becomes the rock upon which lasting success and happiness are built. Part 5. Deep loyalty in relationships. People who enjoy solitude don't form friendships casually. They don't seek to be the center of attention in crowded gatherings or surround themselves with shallow social ties. But if you are fortunate enough to be among the few they truly connect with, then consider yourself part of something rare and deeply meaningful. Because once they open their heart, their loyalty is not fleeting. It's profound, sincere, and unwavering over time. They don't keep people around just to avoid being alone. They choose their friends, partners, or loved ones with intention, based on shared values, emotional depth, and mutual respect. And once they've made that choice, they invest fully, not with grand gestures or sweet words, but with quiet actions, unwavering presence, and steady commitment when it matters most. They do not tolerate betrayal or dishonesty, because to them, genuine relationships are sacred. One lie, one act of disloyalty, and they may walk away, silently, without drama, but with finality. Trust for them is not easily rebuilt. They value transparency, clarity, and honesty, even when the truth might hurt. Because to them, it's better to be wounded by truth than comforted by a lie. Their loyalty doesn't seek recognition. They don't need to prove anything, because commitment is already deeply rooted in how they live and in the choices they make every day. When they say they're here for you, rain or shine, they truly are. They won't let go when things get tough, nor will they turn their back when you have nothing left to offer. They stay. Not for gain, but out of real emotional connection. As a result, the relationships they form are few, but deep. Not flashy, but lasting. And in a world that often favors speed over substance, this kind of quiet, unwavering loyalty is something truly rare and deeply worth cherishing. Part 6. Feeling at peace when alone. Some people fear being alone because they're afraid of facing themselves. But for those who embrace solitude, alone time isn't empty or sad. It's sacred. It's a space where they are reborn, where they can truly listen to themselves, and where they can simply be, without the need for any mask or performance. They don't turn to crowds to fill a void. Instead, they seek quiet to fill their soul. When they're alone, they don't feel lonely. They feel deeply connected to their inner world. It's during these moments that they sort through tangled thoughts, heal unspoken wounds, and recharge the energy drained by life's chaos. It's in the stillness that creativity awakens. Ideas flow freely, intuition becomes sharper, and insights about life emerge without force. They learn to view situations from multiple perspectives, develop critical thinking, and grow more attuned to emotions, their own and others. Being alone teaches them to care for themselves, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. A slow morning with a cup of tea, an afternoon reading in the sun, or simply journaling in silence. These aren't trivial acts. They are rituals of inner nourishment. To them, solitude isn't about the absence of others. It's about the full presence of self. And in that presence, they build unshakable resilience, a calm heart in a noisy world, and a life that is richer, quieter, and far more meaningful. Part 7, selective yet deep empathy. They don't easily connect with everyone, not because they're cold or indifferent, but because their empathy runs deep, and they know it's a gift that should be given with care. Every time they listen, they do so with their entire being, mind, heart, and soul. And that kind of presence takes energy, depth, and intentionality. They're not quick to open up, not because they're closed off, but because they respect their own emotions. They understand that not everyone deserves the intimacy of their genuine attention. Rather than diving into wide circles of shallow connections, they choose to walk closely with a few, those who truly matter, those who value depth over display. When they listen, they don't just hear words. They hear silences, feel emotions beneath the surface, and hold space without judgment. Their empathy is quiet, but powerful, offering comfort not in loud reassurances, but in the gentle assurance that someone truly sees you. Their advice doesn't come from a desire to fix, but from a place of deep care. They offer insights not as commands, but as reflections, shaped by life experience, careful thought, and emotional intelligence. Their words don't direct, they illuminate. Because they understand the weight of empathy, they don't scatter it. They give it with intention, investing their emotional energy in those rare relationships that are built on trust, honesty, and growth. In those chosen bonds, they show a kind of love that is quiet yet unwavering, steady yet profound, a love that listens more than it speaks and understands more than it explains. Part 8, sharpened observation and analytical insight. Have you ever wondered why people who enjoy solitude often seem incredibly perceptive, able to sense the energy in a room, pick up on unspoken emotions, or understand things without needing words? It's not because they possess a sixth sense. It's the result of spending countless hours in quiet reflection, where they've cultivated a priceless skill, deep observation, and sharp analysis. While the world outside is loud and rushing, they choose to slow down, silently watching rather than impulsively reacting. Their solitude isn't an escape. It's a step back to see the bigger picture with greater clarity. Because they're not caught in the constant noise of social interactions, they gain the space to observe human behavior with calm, unbiased attention. They notice the slight flicker in someone's eyes when they're hiding the truth, the hesitation in a voice masking uncertainty, or the subtle shifts in facial expressions that reveal hidden pain. What others miss or ignore, these individuals catch and use as clues to better understand the emotions, motives, and untold stories behind each action. And they don't stop at simply noticing. They analyze what they observe with quiet strategy. They don't rush to judge. They take time to connect the dots, reflect, and ask deeper questions. As a result, they often make incredibly precise decisions, whether in work, relationships, or life direction. People often come to them for advice, not because they talk a lot, but because when they do speak, their words are thoughtful and profound. They don't rely on gut feelings alone. Their insight is grounded in what they've carefully watched and learned over time. They can see the truth hidden beneath polite conversation, sense intentions masked by smiles, and predict outcomes from subtle signs others overlook. This is not a talent everyone possesses. This level of awareness is the outcome of a long journey, where they've learned to listen without words, to see without staring, and to understand without being told. They are the quiet observers of the world, noticing what a busy society often misses. That's why people who enjoy solitude are far from boring or disengaged, as many assume. They are hidden treasures, silent minds with razor-sharp perception, able to see more than you expect and understand deeper than you realize. And if you ever find yourself the subject of their quiet, thoughtful gaze, know that you are standing before one of life's most powerful mirrors, one that reflects the world not just as it is, but as it truly feels. Those who choose to be alone are not lonely people without options. They are individuals rich in self-knowledge, clarity, and inner strength. In the silence they embrace, they find wisdom, peace, and the space to grow. They know how to build meaningful connections while still maintaining their individuality. And in a noisy, fast-paced world, their presence is like a quiet force, steady, calm, and deeply insightful. To appreciate and learn from these qualities is in itself a sign of emotional maturity. Thank you so much for staying with us until the very end of this episode. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Kunzy Podcast English for more stories that inspire and awaken. And if there's a topic you'd love us to cover next, feel free to drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you.